Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews, and today we are continuing the series where I watch every single Robin Williams movie so that you don't have to. And believe me, some of these earlier ones are quite massive garbage. So if you haven't seen any of those on my reviews on them, go ahead and check them out. They are in a playlist, so if you're interested in Robin Williams, definitely check all of those out. I go step by step, one by one, through all of his performances in film, so if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. But today we're going to be talking about one of the fan favorites, Good Morning Vietnam. Good Morning Vietnam was released in 1987. It was written by Mitch Markovitz and directed by Barry Levinson. And no spoilers, so the general idea of this film is that this comedian who is an air host, and an air host is somebody who goes on the radio, so he's a radio host basically, and he's a comedian, and so he goes into Vietnam and he is doing this radio show every morning and every afternoon for the troops that are in battle and on the field and stuff. And the issue that arises is that the military wants him to say specific things because they don't want to rile up the troops. They don't want them to know everything because they want to keep everything kind of secret. But Robin Williams' character here, Adrian Cronauer, does not like that idea, and he shares a lot of information that isn't supposed to be shared, but he's also very funny, so then there's this balance of how do we get this guy off the air, but also have the troops be happy. And the general tone and idea of the film is maybe all the people need at war is just a little bit of comedy, a little bit of happiness to keep going in the war here. And I think that is a wonderful statement. There is kind of a controversy around it, where some people really love it because of the idea of how it works. Some people don't like it because they think maybe that Vietnam is a bad choice of place to talk about right now. I think it's wonderful. I think it's a wonderful film. I get the controversy, I do. I think that some people are going to be like, you're making fun of Vietnam. And that's not it at all. I mean, really, that if somebody watches this film and they think that they're laughing at Vietnam or the issue at hand, that isn't how this film is at all. It's not. It's not meant in any way to really be racist or even to look down upon the war or to pick on the troops that are in there and that have died. That is not at all what this film is trying to portray. And if you get that, I don't think you're truly understanding the film. This film is about how we can, it's the little things, right? It's a little bit of comedy that can help the troops who are in this situation feel a little bit happier and feel a little bit better. And it also does expose a little bit of the military, where this is probably true. I mean, I don't know for sure, but it's almost definitely a fact that the military hides certain information from the troops. It's almost definitely a fact. And it does expose a little bit of that truth to us who, I haven't been to war. I hope I never do. And it just kind of exposes a little bit of that truth to us, a little bit of insight. And that's the one thing that I do want to talk about real quick is the tone of this movie, which, yes, it is a comedy, but is also a drama, and we call those a dramedy, okay? And the cool part about this one in particular is there's no, wins in this film. It's like, this is really funny, then oh my gosh, it just got dark. Really funny, oh my gosh, it just got dark. I think it's really smart how they did that, and that is all to the director here. I think Barry Levinson did a fantastic job of just portraying these different tones, but I like that we didn't have to go from really, really funny to slowly really sad. It was just an immediate drop in tone, and I think that worked really, really, really well in this circumstance, which is good because I honestly think that in other circumstances it might not work this way. I think that if you were to choose a different movie, it might not work where we do these almost terraces of tone. I think this works extremely well, just the terrace, I think that if we were to diminish them slowly, it would kind of ruin the feel of the movie where it is kind of sudden, right? Like, you're having a good time, you're teaching Vietnamese children, and all of a sudden a bomb goes off. That's a big thing. It's not like leading up to the bomb, where a lot of action movies will do that. A lot of action movies will be like, hey, there's a bomb coming, we kind of know it, so we're going to increase the music a little bit. Here, it's just, no. Playful music, bomb. And then even though the bomb goes off, sometimes when there's crises in this movie, they play fun, happy songs, or like hopeful tones, and I think that's wonderful. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful idea. I think the antithesis of the soundtrack to the actual movie is just wonderful. I think it works incredibly well. It really inflicts a meaning in your heart. I mean, I almost cried a couple times in this film, and it's a comedy. And I don't cry a lot during films. I do sometimes, and when I do, I admit it on camera because I think it's important that I can say I cried, because it really does inflict that I had a good emotional impact. This one almost did. It didn't quite, but very close. There are some moments in this film where you're like, ooh. There's some twists in this film that I honestly was not at all expecting. Like, all of a sudden, boom, this guy is different. Like, and it works. It works so well in the story, and it makes sense. So I am happy with it. I was a little concerned when I heard about the first twist when I was watching the film. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work out in the end. And it did. It totally did. I can't spoil it, of course, but it did. It worked very well, and I was really, really happy with it. Let's talk about... Oops, excuse me. Let's talk about a couple of the performances real quick. First, Robin Williams, of course, is Adrian Cronauer. This is so far my favorite part that he's been in. I don't think it's my favorite movie of his, but I think... So far. But I think... This is my favorite role I've seen him in. It is so Robin Williams, and it just feels like it's him. He's able to do all these voices. It's the first movie that he's able to just kind of sit down and, you know, and like kind of play all these awesome voices that work so well, particularly in a Robin Williams comedy. I think it is the first official Robin Williams comedy where, like, this is the way that he acts, this is the way that he can exude comedy, and it works so well here. And I'm really excited to look to some more of his later comedies where we can exemplify this even more. Forrest Whitaker as Edward. So this is the partner for the radio. And I did not know this is Forrest Whitaker. I had no idea. I was watching the film. I ended the film, and I was doing the research so I could get the pictures and edit for the editing and stuff. And I was like, we all know that guy. We've seen him before in a bunch of movies. But I didn't realize that was the same exact person, and it blew my mind. He was really good in this film, and honestly, like... This might be the best film I've seen him in, because he's very popular, but he's definitely not the best actor on the planet, but I think he's fantastic in this film, like, really, really good, because he has this urge to follow directions and follow orders, but also, he understands the troops are feeling happy by Cronauer's radio show, so he's got this balance of, like, who do I follow here? I think that they do show it very, very well, and it's very tense a lot, and I think it shows that friendship is definitely a higher force than, you know, militarism. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed his performance a lot. And we have Tom T. Tron as Tuan. And this is the Asian the Vietnamese child, that Robin Williams befriends very early in the film because he wants to get with his sister. Which is a weird concept, but honestly works pretty well. At first I was a little uncomfortable. I'm not sure if this is like the way that I want it to be, but it does work quite well, and I was very happy with it. I think his performance is really good. He's never been in another movie. He's only been in this movie, which... blows my mind because he was so good. Wonderful, wonderful acting, especially from a young person. He's not that young in this film, but he's pretty young. He's definitely got to be. He's got to be younger than me. But it works very, very well, and I was very happy with the performance. Overall, this movie's fantastic. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I watched it on HBO Max. I don't know if it's still there, but I did watch it on HBO Max, so check there first. Definitely worth watching. If you haven't seen it yet, I mean, like, really, you have to watch it. I think that everyone should watch this before, like, they die. Like, this is definitely an important movie. And so I'm going to go ahead and give Good Morning Vietnam an A+. This is the second A+ that I've given Robin Williams. I think it's the second. It might be the first. I'm pretty confident I gave The World According to Garp an A+, which is my favorite Robin Williams movie so far. This is definitely a close second, though. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. If we're not already there, by the time we get to 150 subscribers, I'm going to dress up like Spider-Man and go to Walmart. And if you want to check that out, make sure you guys are subscribing, liking the video, sharing with your friends. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.